Just as you start, Mooney just decides to be mean.
Why? What did Mooney do?
So I smell like beef again.
Maybe you do smell like beef. Is that so bad?
I do not smell like beef. I do not smell like beef.
What's wrong with smelling like beef?
Nothing. I just don't smell like beef.
Are you sure?
You spelled Yangtze River wrong. You put a D instead of a G. I love you. This is why I tell you information. Baldur's Gate wants to take 3 hours to download.
Why does G smell like beef? Is this a compliment or an insult?
Insult.
I don't know. It
Also,
might not
I
be.
didn't forget anything. Yeah, that's true. I didn't forget anything. You are just bullying me.
I tried to tell you weren't forgetting anything. That was just a general statement.
Yeah, I know. It just...
Mooney was just making a very hilarious statement.
Yeah, but I got paranoid for a second and I had to check. And then I checked and, like, you know, how when you check, you're like, okay, I know I forgot that, but that's not the thing that Mooney's referring to. And you have to keep going down your list of, like, okay, well, you forgot this, but that's all Mooney's referring to. And then keep going until you figure out, like, okay, Mooney can't be referring to any of these things, so therefore you didn't forget anything. You know?
Or just Mooney wasn't referring to anything in general. And Morgan knew that from the beginning.
Well, what if you did forget something?
Yeah, unfortunately it does.
Yeah, I know. Oh, okay. I knew this the whole time, but it's also, again, the thing of, like, what if I did? I would, like, not know unless I checked through the list. And, like, yes, there were several things I did forget, but, like, those weren't things that you could have thought of. So, therefore, I didn't forget anything. Anyway, hello, stream. Today we will be playing Memories again, in which a guy got dropped off into a factory and decided that he didn't want to. I can be louder, I just didn't want to be. Anyway.
I mean, I can turn you up if I need to.
No, it's good. I can just stop kind of whispering. Unless I'm still being quiet now. I guess that's a good question. Am I still quietish now?
A little bit.
Okay, then yeah, you probably were turning me up.
I turned you up a little bit. I'm just scared to turn you up too much, because then if you go back to normal volume, you will blast my eardrums out.
That is fair. That is completely fair. I just also am the thing of, like, I can tell right now that my voice does not want to go any louder than this. So it's like will this happen when I start laughing? Yes. At the moment, no. Shrugs. But yes, we are back on the Murmur game, in which, as you can see, we are in a factory, and in the factory,
they can't see that because we haven't started the game.
So as you can see, we're in a factory, and in the factory, a guy decided that he wanted to go and make some bricks, and then he made the bricks, but then he fell into the bricks, and then he got cursed by a statue, and then another person died, question mark. And then
where were the bricks? Were the bricks in the room with us?
Yes, they've always been there. I can't believe you don't know about the bricks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Grandma, go on.
The food of the week is Pringles and chicken sandwich. And you should follow Quietly Existing on Twitch. And I will do this because I gotta plug it at least once. And also, follow the Zodiac Lord on Twitch as well. I can't shout him out, but, like, you know, in spirit.
I know you can't shout it out because this is my channel that we are on right now.
If you say so.
I'm going to kill you.
And
You're about to be too
also,
quiet for a whole different reason.
no! I do not want to be too quiet because you murdered me. That would be a very bad thing, and I would miss you, and you'd miss me, and therefore you shouldn't
wouldn't
murder
miss me. You know you would haunt me.
I would still miss you. I would miss being able to tell you things, even if they are very incredibly silly things. I would miss being able to tell you them. Anyway, so, also, I have comms open on Regen, and I will keep plugging those. Yeah, because I want to go see my friend in November, and for us to be silly in Silly Town. And Mooney's lying about the food of the week. Mooney's just saying that because they're sad because they can't eat ketchup sandwiches anymore.
What?
Mooney can't eat ketchup sandwiches anymore.
I don't think Mooney ever ate a ketchup sandwich, did you?
Yes, Mooney has confirmed this.
The ew tells me otherwise.
No.
But it does.
No.
You know, you can't just say no and get out of things.
Have you considered? I can, though.
You also
And
can't
I
say have
will.
you considered and think that can absolve you of anything.
Okay, but have you considered?
No, I haven't.
Exactly. Maybe you should try considering.
Nah. According to you, I can just
Well-
say no, so. No.
No. No.
No.
No.
No.
No.
No.
And I do not gaslight Mooney. I'm allergic to gas, as you all know.
Just because you're allergic to it doesn't mean you can't light it.
Yes, it does because I'm allergic.
I heard the Freudian slip.
No. That was called I was looking at something and I saw a key and now I'm messing with the key. Because the key has, wings attached to it for reasons.
Okay.
I cannot believe Mooney is being mean to me. Mooney is trying to bully me
Anyway.
in chat.
Hi guys. We're playing Murder on the Yangtze River. We're doing more murder.
game.
We're gonna play the game.
If we're committing murders. Time to play a silly little game in which, we don't die.
Yep.
Yep.
If Formanting has already come to harm when the falling incident occurred, that proves that the second floor furnace area is most likely not the primary crime scene. We need to think of a way to find the primary crime scene. The markers only appeared on the site of the incident, likely related to some mechanism. Apu, do you remember what it is?
Not yet, but its smell is really familiar. I'll keep an eye out for it in the ironworks.
That's you.
Even if the suspects use the ladle to stay undercover and avoid the sight of Old Zhao and Awu. How were they able to leave the scene completely undetected? After the incident, workers were fighting the fire in front of the furnace. They would have seen them if they walked out from the front.
I believe their safest choice would be the elevator in the charging area behind the furnace.
Yeah. But Oli said that he didn't see anyone. Unless he...
We need to reinvestigate the surroundings of the charging area.
Foreman Ting is really unpopular. Nobody likes him. It feels like everyone has a motive.
No body, no autopsy. There's no way to know what unforeseen mishap Farman Ting ran into. Shen, how are we supposed to find the primary crime scene? We don't even know if he was already dead or in a state of unconsciousness before he fell.
We need to broaden the scope of our investigation. Let's look into places Foreman Ting had been to before the incident. This is a desk that Supervisor Ho
This
moved
is the
here.
desk that Supervisor Ho moved here temporarily.
Oops.
There's a headcloth on the desk. Supervisor Ho was using it to bag money. Okay, ain't that sus? There's an account book next to it. Let me take a look. It's because, again, it's a thing of like, you know, the person who was wearing a thing or whatever it's called. A circle? Yeah, I'm not good at words.
Okay.
All these wages were deducted a lot. The reason is because he skipped work multiple times. Al Wu's wages were the second most deducted for being late. Old Chow's have also been deducted.
These are circumstances worth keeping in mind.
Shan, this door leads to the backyard. Let's head over there and take a look.
Sorry, I got dip on my fingers.
You got a dip in your finger. This monument was erected when Hanyang Ironworks were first put into operation. At the time, there were quite a few foreign engineers who came to work at the ironworks.
In June 1894, the Hanyang Ironworks was officially put into operation, and a monument was constructed for commemoration. Many skilled workers from overseas were introduced at the beginning of the establishment of the ironworks. To thank them for their remarkable contributions, the upper half of the monument was engraved with Hanyang in Pinyin and June in French. The pointed hammer and flat hammer at the center were the emblem of the Hanyang Ironworks. The lower half of the monument was engraved with an olive branch, symbolizing peace and friendship. Unfortunately destroyed by the flames of war, this monument is now lost. Ooh, well, never mind, I guess we're here.
The laboratory is huge.
Well, speak of the devil. I was just telling Mr. Robinson about you two detectives. There are a few questions we would like to ask Mr. Robinson. Of course, allow me to introduce you. This is Mr. Robinson, a chemist from England. He is also the head of this laboratory. Mr. Robinson, this is Shen. Beside him is his assistant, Afu. Give me this guy.
Mr. Shen, I did hear thy deductions are marvelous.
This case is still under investigation, so your cooperation would be greatly appreciated.
If it be true that
You really gave this to me, thanks.
I didn't know.
I know, it's really funny though.
if it be true that there is aught I can be with, proceed to let me know it.
Mr. Robinson, I'm also really interested in chemistry. If there are some experiments that come to mind, can I borrow your laboratory table?
Aye. are several test tubes and a scale on the laboratory table. If be true thither is aught I can help thee with, prithee do let me know it.
Mr. Robinson, could I ask you to give us an introduction to the tasks of a chemist?
To be able to smelt metals, 'tis be hopeful to understandeth the composition of the minerals. Ere deciding the ingredients, proportions, and which refining process to useth. This just sounds like bad old English.
Well, my thought is that this might be him speaking overly formally.
Oh, that's fair, I guess.
Yeah, like that's not how he sounds in English, that's how he sounds speaking his second language.
Yeah.
Because that is something I usually know from people who learn languages like this, is that it tends to be very formal because that's usually what the textbook version.
Yeah. It's just very funny how they translated it. I think. I'm like, ah.
Mr. Robinson is saying before steelmaking, we need to know the composition of the minerals. Then we decide on the ingredients, proportions, and which refining process to use. He is responsible for running tests of the composition on various minerals through chemistry.
So Mr. Robinson is also in charge of the chemical testing for the quality of the steel rails, right? We doth not have the arts to explore the caliber of steel rails.
What Mr. Robinson means to say is that the Ironworks Laboratory does not have the credentials to run tests on steel rails.
Credentials?
Railway constructors, mainly foreign companies, have their own preferred testing institutions. The test reports issued by our ironworks are unable to get approved.
Thee speaketh the truth, ho. If to be true there's aught I can help thee with, prithee do let me know it.
I heard that he once served as your assistant. Why was he transferred to the factory floor?
Ting was very talented. I applaud his competition as mine aid. He did not help me in many ways, and in return I did give him bounteous rewards. Co-equal so, he did make it an unforgivable misprision. He was to cut purse. He did steal my notes, which did have multitudinous data of the essence. He eke did steal laboratory instruments, then did return them the next morn. Oh me the gods, doth he truly bethink yond I would not find it out? Everything hither has a fixed placement. I did knoweth of his trickery aforetime. It sounds like Foreman Ting just wanted to gain more knowledge.
Curious, actually. Because I don't think it wasn't a cutscene, so I don't think there'll be any.
For which thing are you looking for?
Spoken text, but it's not there.
Okay.
I was curious what he might have sounded like. If, like, my theory was right or
Oh.
not.
Okay. The lab hath its own rules. I doth not like people who doth not follow the rules. I muse going to work on the factory floor with the superior answer for Ting. If be true thither has aught I can help thee with, further do let me know it.
Mr. Shen, what else would you like to know? Mr. Ho, you seem quite familiar with Mr. Robinson. I speak a bit of Mr. Robinson's language, so sometimes I can help him with communications. Mr. Robinson is a very interesting person. I really enjoy talking to him. How is Foreman Ting's relationship with Mr. Robinson? Foreman Ting used to be Mr. Robinson's assistant, but the relationship was never too close. You both have probably already heard about Foreman Ting's beating up Mr. Robinson. What? Beating up Mr. Robinson a while ago? What was the specific reason for that?
I don't feel like I heard of this.
I didn't. Foreman Ting came to ask Mr. Robinson in private to help him test the steel made by his methods. Mr. Robinson agreed and ran tests over and over again, but the results were unsatisfactory. Foreman Ting was quite stubborn and insisted that Mr. Robinson was being half-hearted. Mr. Robinson only meant to help, so naturally he resented Foreman Ting's accusations. Mr. Robinson's words became quite harsh. Foreman Ting was so angry that he beat up Mr. Robinson. The matter was only resolved when Mr. Lee stepped in. After all, Foreman Ting was just too eager to achieve success.
Look, Shannon, it's a portrait of Zhang Zidong.
Mr. Zhang advocates education and industry. He's a person I admire greatly. Fact.
Fact.
Zhang Zidong, 1837 to 1909, was a representative figure of the Western affairs movement in the late Qing dynasty. He advocated Chinese traditional values for foundation, Western ideology for practical use. Having experienced the Sino-French War, he was deeply aware of the importance of industrial development. In the spring of 1890, as the Viceroy of Hungyang, he collected funds from various places. After going through hardship, he was finally able to begin the construction of the Hanyang Iron Works in 1891 and begin officially producing iron from June 30th in 1894. With the most advanced technology in the world at the time, he produced the first furnace of molten steel in China.
A stack of documents, a bottle of ink, and a quill pen are placed on the desk. Huh? This is a chemist test report for steel. Okay, wait. Carbon, silicon, magnesium, phosphorus, sulfur, chromium, question mark? Standard result, so not enough carbon. Under. So the result's just a little under for everything. Westphalian Coke. Weight percentage. Okay, wait, then where's the rest of the weight percent? That's pretty. Okay, whatever, anyway. Steel in this report is made by using coal from Westphalia. All indexes are up to standard. Okay, that's 0.5, that's 0.9, 0.7. That's a lot more phosphorus in that one. Okay, so that one has way more phosphorus in the pine gem, coke, and anthracite. Okay. Steel in this report was made by a mixture of Chinese coke breeze and anthracite. What a shame. Due to the high phosphorus content, fragmentation easily appears in the steel. It seems like the choice of fuel really affects the quality of the steel. A complete account of iron manufacture electricity. The bookshelf is full of technical books. The remaining documents are all in foreign languages. Natural Philosophy, the first book I read about the study of physics.
So many facts. We're like halfway through all the facts. During the mid-19th century, the increasingly close cultural exchanges between China and foreign countries, as well as the influx of Western missionaries, brought modern scientific and technological knowledge into China. Natural philosophy, compiled by the Englishman Benjamin Hobson, was regarded as an enlightening read for Chinese people on Western science and technology. Divided into 3 collections, natural philosophy touched upon physics, chemistry, astronomy, zoology, and other knowledge. Ideologist Wang Tao evaluated this composition, saying that a scholar who studies the phenomena on nature to acquire knowledge must start from here and set this as their standard. Miss Wen, are you also here to investigate the laboratory? I'm here for the photos. The camera was destroyed, but fortunately the film inside was untouched. Mr. Robinson from the laboratory helped me develop them.
What kind of photos did you take? Can we have a look?
I only took a few, and most of them are scenery shots. You can see for yourself.
Shan, let's take a look at Miss Wen's photos.
One moment. There are still a few questions I would like to ask Miss Wen. Ask away, great detective. As you are writing a report on the ironworks, you must know its recent developments. Well, of course. I'm a senior reporter. It's really difficult for national enterprises like the Hanyang Ironworks to develop and grow. They need to buy foreign equipment. Even mineral resources are controlled by foreigners. At the market, foreigners control the right to build most railways in China. They're the ones who decide whose steel rails to buy and what's the standard for testing are. Take the Shanghai Nanjing Railway with a British chief engineer, for example. The agreement specifies that the British is in charge of purchasing the agreement specifies that the British in charge of purchasing take a commission of 5%. Naturally, the British will choose to buy Western products to gain more profit. When they purchase steel rails, they would nitpick at Hanyang Ironworks products. Recently, the ironworks is more competitive due to a new method and that greatly reduces costs. However, rumors about the bad quality of its steel rails have sent the ironworks to rock bottom.
Under Deputy Administrator Lee seems so anxious.
That's why he hopes that my news report can help them restore their reputation.
There's some paper ashes in the brazier that seem to have burnt out not too long ago. This brazier brings back some bad memories.
Oh, is that it? Oh, okay.
It just brings back bad memories.
I guess so. This is you.
Oh, okay. On the left is the photo of Hanyang's Ironworks freight dock. In the middle of the photo, the molten steel basin. We've seen this before. This photo was taken in the office on the furnace factory floor. The office in the photo looks different to what it's like now.
Yeah, there's a big old bag of shit right there. There's... Interesting. Miss Wen, was this photo taken yesterday evening as well? Yep. What about it? This detail in the photo differs from how the office is now. That seems quite peculiar. Oh dear. Okay.
Oh, weird.
Wouldn't be this obvious, would it be? I don't have a picture of it, do I?
Can you do investigate?
This is investigate.
Oh, never mind then. Shen, the money
Okay,
bag and the
good.
money on the desk disappeared without a trace.
Thank God.
Yeah, it was very
This
much
money
like
was
that.
probably taken to pay
Hey.
wages, right?
That's right, but there's nothing peculiar about that. Shen, let's take a look at another detail.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think it's probably something in the background.
I wish I could look at the old one because it's been a minute since we were here.
Yeah, try the
Wait. Is it
Oh,
that?
him not wearing his
Because he's not
scarf?
wearing the fucking... No. Oh,
Shen, I don't
no.
think. Try the. Yeah,
You
try
lied
the.
to me.
Try the. No, try the.
What?
Try what's it called? The. Try the statue thing. I don't think it's that though, but
It shouldn't be. That one's already...
Yeah.
That's been there.
okay. Try the what's it called? The posters. Not that one. The other one. The
No,
one on the left.
because that one wasn't on the wall, was it? It was on the desk.
Okay.
Because that's the list of rules, is it not?
Yeah, I thought
No.
the list of rules. I think it's the other side. Because there's one poster that seems like a little bit newer. On the actual wall, yeah. Shen, the blueprints on the wall changed.
No, Mooney, we can do this.
Yeah, Mooney. It's called trial and error. In the photo, a flowchart of the steelmaking process was placed above the map. But now it's a working drawing of the open hearth furnace.
Furthermore, the map in the photo looks evidently more worn down. Who did it? And why would they suddenly make such a change? Maybe if there was, like, bloodstains on it? Like bloodstains
Bloodstains.
flew onto the pieces of paper? When the incident
Yeah, but-
occurred, I was in the office. The blueprints were switched out then. Oh, incident.
Incident? Shen, do you think this could be related to Foreman Tink's death?
It's hard to believe that there is no connection whatsoever between these two.
Could it be the suspect of it?
We cannot rule out that possibility, that Foreman Ting did this. What? I didn't even click this time? You don't need to jump scare me like that. What the fuck is wrong with you? The audacity in this room right now.
I don't know. It really said, like, hey, actually, was it necessary for Foreman Ting to replace the flowchart with a working drawing?
Could you not yeah, right? Thank you. My opinion I thought exactly, Shen. Could you not surprise me like that again?
Could you not avoid the subject? He's got a point.
No, he doesn't. He scared
Answer
me.
me. Was it necessary for Foreman Ting to replace the flowchart with a working drawing?
Who knows? Maybe he just wanted to take a look at the structure of the open hearth furnace. Who knows?
Can't he take a look on the table? Why would he hang it up on the wall?
Both furnaces are in operation. It didn't make any sense to hang a working drawing up again. Foreman Ting had no reason to change the blueprints, nor did other workers. Unless the suspect did it.
Ding ding. Go on.
You right, Mooney?
Does the suspect have a valid reason to replace the...
Oh, no, I didn't.
Does the suspect have a...
It's fine. It's okay. Was it to leave a message? I have already examined them. Nothing special about the two blueprints. No traces of handwriting. There should be another reason. Okay, thank you. Does the suspect have other reasons? To cover up traces? Was it to cover up traces on the wall? Bloodstains! That's not right. The size and location of the blueprints have not changed. What's... Destroy information. Fine, to destroy information.
Destroy information.
Listen, you jumped me out of nowhere. I'm not prepared.
Get prepared.
Clearly there was some information on the paper that they did not want us to see. In order to destroy it, they switched out both of the blueprints.
So, what kind of information was it?
I am accepting hotshot into my heart. What do you mean? I'm not denying it. Nothing special about the two blueprints in the photo. No traces of handwriting on them either. Aside from its worn-out state, the map is the exact same as the map on the wall now.
Which means...
Was concealed. Perhaps the information exists in some kind of hidden way. For example, ink that can only be shown under certain circumstances. Or perhaps the paper has undergone special treatment. If there really was such hidden information, there would be no need to replace the blueprints. Listen, I would be better at this if I was ready to go. I'm not bullying him, I'm just... Listen, someone can be hot and also make me mad. That's not mutually exclusive. The information could have been left alone. If anything, I'm flustered because he caught me by surprise, Mooney. Did you ever think of that? No bullying. I'm being bullied, if anything. The information could have only been left alone. After the photo was taken, new information appeared on the blueprints that were torn off.
So, what's the new information?
There are too many possibilities.
No. The suspect has only one reason to hide evidence.
The hidden evidence will reveal their crime. Rumors say Ting was killed by ghosts, but he was most likely murdered before falling into the ladle. This means that the new information that appeared on the blueprints was... I was just trying to say bloodstains.
Bloodstains?
Is most likely bloodstains. The suspect is trying to make people believe Ting was killed by ghosts. If a bloodstain is found on the factory floor, their schemes would be exposed.
Evidence. Give me evidence that supports your deduction.
Evidence? What other evidence have I yet to consider? Evidence that could indirectly prove that the deceased was injured and bleeding is... other items, dust in the inkstone.
He's injured and bleeding.
He's injured and bleeding. Okay, what other... being deceased, injured and bleeding. The head cloth? Because he was hit in the head, right? Because that's what we were even saying before, was that he was murdered and that's why he had the head cloth, because it was covering up the fact that he was killed. That's right.
Yeah.
Foreman Ting abnormally wore a head cloth this morning. The head cloth may have been used to cover the scars and bloodstains on his head. However, this is not enough to prove the hypothesis I just made. Unfortunately, the body has been destroyed. Otherwise, an autopsy would reveal everything.
Even if it's just a hypothesis, at least it tells us that.
The primary crime scene is most likely the office. Bullying mention. I'm not! He's bullying me!
I don't know about that.
Shut up. You bully all the time. You don't get an opinion.
I don't bully ever.
You always bully.
I never bully.
Yes, you do.
I never bullied ever. I can't believe.
Read your lines.
I'm not allowed to talk now, Emma. You just told me.
I never said that. I said you're not allowed to talk about the subject of bullying specifically.
You told me to shut up. You did say this. This is the fact that you said it out loud.
I'm
anyway,
going to punt
Shen, don't punt me.
I'm going to punt you across the room.
If you punt me, all my hit points will be gone, and then I will die.
I want to play the game.
Are you alright? Did your headache act up again?
I'm fine. Just now, I have understood something. This is most likely that the office was the primary crime scene. The blueprints were switched out because blood splatter across them.
Whoa, so that's what it was.
However, This is just a hypothesis. We need to find a way to prove it.
If blood splattered onto the blueprints, we should be able to find blood stains on the wall. But we didn't find anything at all, so it must have been wiped clean. Luminol!
Luminol.
Luminol! Is it luminol? Is that how you say it? I'm gonna say luminol. Anyway, if only we could find a way to test for it. Luminol. Luminol. Hey, Mr. Robinson. Hey, Mr. Robinson. A variety of reagents are displayed in this cabinet. Hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, ammonia, hydrogen peroxide. They really do have everything.
Afu, what kind of experiments are these reagents used for?
Clearly anything. They mainly use to test the competition of minerals and steel.
I see.
What was that?
What the fuck, man? What is happening?
What is going on? Shen,
Am I about to finally have a Jekyll and Hyde swap? Is that about to happen? I am fine. I'm just remembered a few unpleasant memories.
Okay, but I didn't get to see the scene because it blinked blue. And then
I know. It
disappeared.
looked like a blueprint.
Okay,
It
got
looked
it.
like a
Thanks.
blueprint. Like a literal blueprint.
Okay. I just again, it went too fast. I wasn't able to process anything.
Okay, Trinima, I am 100% sure that is literally the point.
I know it's the point.
You are
I
complaining
just
about
also,
something that was done on purpose.
Yeah.
If they wanted you to see it in detail, they wouldn't have blinked it by that fast.
Yeah, I understand. However.
No, however.
I want to however it.
No.
As long as you're fine.
I'm not fine.
Shen, I just found a bottle of reagent that's quite rare. Perhaps it can be of use. What reagent did you find? Why did you just take it? Shen, I've got an idea. In my father's notes, I once read about an ammonia powder that glows when it reacts with blood. I never thought this laboratory would have it. Okay. So, 8 carbon, 7 hydrogen, 3 nitrogen, 2 oxygen. See this one. The scientific name for it is 3-amino-phthalohydrazide. Amino-phthalohydrazide. I can try to prepare a blood detection reagent.
That would be wonderful.
Let's go borrow Mr. Robinson's laboratory table. We say we do not do that.
Well, there's so much shit we have to look at.
I know, I just think it's really funny.
I will do it in a minute.
These gunny sacks were filled with lime.
God, you. Not you.
How's the investigation going, you guys?
We're still investigating, and there's some questions we wanted to ask you, Mr. Patrolman. However, we're short on time, so we hope that you can be straight with us.
Where's this coming from? My headache is sometimes good and sometimes bad.
Then is it good or bad right now?
With the murderous suspect on Lucas and the Ironworks, Mr. Lee is already troubled enough. If there's anything you want to know, you can try asking me.
Did Foreman Ting ever have a problem with anyone?
There's quite a few. Let's count Ah Woo in first.
Was it because Foreman Ting was strict and paid Awu's wages late?
Not entirely. Ting was stricter with Ah Woo more than he was with anyone else, so Ah Woo hated him. Foreman Ting came from the backwater countryside and was the youngest in his family. In the past 2 years, his family died of illness or old age. He was the last one left. He was also an old bachelor. There's no one to even handle his funeral affairs. Ah Woo was also born to a poor family. He's clever. Everyone knows Ting treated him like a son.
I looked away and then I auto-replaced it.
Alas, it's regrettable that Ting was obsessed with sting making. He was not considerate at all. Obviously, he meant well, but sometimes his words sounded harsh and mean. That's why Albu kicked over a shrine a while ago.
So Foreman Ting was really quite alone.
It sounds so pitiful.
Other than
Other
Awu,
than-
who else did Foreman Ting have a dispute with? It's not even anywhere close to what your character looks like.
I'm sorry though, okay? It's like the same height.
No!
Only is also quite... It's like the same height.
No.
Oldly is also...
Old Lee is also quite stubborn, so these two stubborn old men often fought. Also, a while back, Foreman Ting even beat up that foreign boss in the laboratory. Thanks to his bad temper, he lost his job in the lab and became a labor foreman here.
So you're saying Mr. Robinson did it? Sus.
One more question.
I'm sure it's pig iron underneath this tarpaulin.
Huh?
This isn't pig iron. Shen, there are rubber blocks piled underneath here.
A large quantity of rubber. Is there a need for rubber in the process of steel making?
Not at all.
These rare blocks belong to Mr. Lee. They're just temporarily stocked here.
Under our feet.
Saying it was rubber? Oh, these are scraps of rubber. That means...
Someone processed rubber blocks here. It couldn't be, because that wouldn't be anywhere near the powder.
I mean, I guess they're burned.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I just
Rubber
don't
doesn't-
know why it like gave that information.
I
Who
just
like said like something about the railing.
So I was like, huh?
There's a uniform over here. Because someone
looks
was
really-
impersonating him. I bet you.
Yeah, we already know this though. It looks really dirty and it's all covered in rust. Only a worker in the charging area can make their clothes this dirty.
Sir, do you know whom this clothing belongs to?
You can ask around and see which worker came by the warehouse today.
Are you sure this uniform was discarded today?
I just cleaned this place up.
I just cleaned this place up with old Chow and the others last night before we got off work.
This situation is worth recording.
Sus.
Says
You didn't even think. Shen, once I saw those rubber blocks, I understood everything. The pungent grayish-white powder we found on site was the residue from the burning of rubber.
Is it?
I said.
You
I
meant to
guess.
say that the murderer had set up a rubber rod there as a railing? The rubber I have seen in the past is soft and incapable of supporting the weight of a person.
What we found in the warehouse was not just ordinary rubber, but vulcanized hard rubber. At ambient temperature, it can sustain a person's weight and won't easily become deformed.
Convenient.
But once the outlet shutter is opened and the temperature close by rises rapidly, it basically explodes.
The rubber will then soften and deform, causing Foreman Ting to topple over.
From a distance,
From a distance, it would seem like the railing had suddenly disappeared. It appears that the murderer is very familiar with what is stored inside the warehouse. Because it's someone in the warehouse. Ooh.
there's someone in the warehouse. Ooh. A file, a screwdriver, a saw, a wrench. There are a lot of tools placed on top of this chest. Shush.
Hold it right there, Mr. Shen.
What's wrong, Mr. Patrolman?
You can't go through. This elevator leads to the second floor. The conveyor door is locked.
Hey, that's sus that the outfit's right outside of it.
Even if you went up, you'd have to come back down.
Agreed.
Okay, then we'll just go up then. Since you know that we're gonna have to come back down. Just let's go back. Let's do it then.
No, it's not gonna let us. That is dialogue that says it's not gonna let us.
I know, I'm just saying in general, I was saying to him like, oh, okay, you know I'm gonna have to come back down, then just let me do it. See, it's right there, luminol. Anyway. It's time to prepare the blood detecting reagent. Remember, left for items, right for weights. I just need to follow my father's notes step by step. I'm surely made perfectly. So what happens if we messed up? So 0.2 grams of luminol, 80 milliliters of... well, this is in order. So luminol, NaOH, that is hydrogen... no. Sodium hydroxide, luminol, sodium hydroxide, water, and hydrogen peroxide? No, hydrogen dioxide?
Yeah, hydrogen dioxide.
Hydrogen dioxide, yeah. Wait, hydrogen... which one's hydrogen peroxide though? What's hydrogen peroxide?
Oh, I see. Okay, I understand. Okay, this is easy then. All right.
Yeah, you had the right amount.
Yeah. Okay.
So now it's, what's it called?
Okay, 6 grams of...
Of... It's, yeah.
Okay, and
then we need...
this is where it gets complicated.
Water.
Well, yeah, it's 90 milliliters, which is a bit different. Hang on. I'm just gonna do a converter.
Okay.
I know there's a way to do it, but it's just easier.
That's fair.
One milliliter is equal to 1 gram. If there's a substance being measured if the substance is being measured is pure water. Cool.
Yeah.
So we'll just pretend it's okay. So that means, yeah. So it's gonna be a lot though.
Yeah, it's 90 milliliters of water or something.
That's so many though. Doesn't. Okay.
Go to the side. There's an arrow.
Oh, okay. Well, now we gotta do a bunch of water sorting bullshit.
This is what you wanted.
No, it's not. When did I ever say this is what I wanted?
I said so. Pour the 50 into the 30.
No, I know. I'm getting it.
Never mind.
I was contemplating your words. Thank you.
Okay, well, I thought my words made sense.
They didn't.
Gasp.
Okay.
Why is it 80% H2O2?
This is 30%.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to hope that means nothing.
It means nothing to you, yeah, don't worry about it.
But if it
It is
does,
hydrogen peroxide.
but
That's right.
But if it does, that means I just put it in here and pour it in.
Sure.
Because 30% of 120 would be, I think, 40?
Yeah.
Unless I'm crazy? Let me
Yeah,
look. Hang on.
because...
No, that's the wrong, hang on, wrong function. No, 36. Okay. I'll just do it normally and pretend this is normal, and if I'm wrong, oh well.
Pour it into the 30 again.
No.
Never mind.
I'm thinking.
Okay. I have suggestion.
Yes.
Pour 50 into 60. Pour 10 into 50. Pour 60 into 10. I mean 30.
Okay.
Now pour 30 into 10. Hey Toshi, welcome in.
Alright, Toshi.
That's 40.
Classic me. The blood detecting reagent is all done.
Excellent. Let us go to the office for verification. Make sure there's nothing else.
Ah, Woo, what are you doing here?
Did you just say that? The foreman was murdered? At present, it is highly likely that he was murdered. Mr. Shen, you'll believe what I say, right? Yes.
Ow.
I remembered something strange. My master doesn't let me say much, and I'm not sure if this is important or not.
There's no one else here, Hawu. Be at ease and tell us.
I don't believe. you're
This
bullying
morning,
me.
I noticed that the crane hook was not stationed at its usual position. Where's the crane
Where's
hook
the-
usually positioned? It's supposed to be between furnace number 1 and furnace number 2.
Well, when I got... Nope, that's still
I
you.
didn't bully fucking anyone. Thank you. Mooney's telling you lies.
Mooney's telling all the lies.
But when I got here this morning, the crane hook was stationed in front of furnace number 2.
Is it possible that someone used the crane hook during working hours?
Not likely. No one would move the crane hook if we weren't casting ingots. So you suspect that someone used the crane hook last night? That's right.
Thank you, Awu. This really helps us with our investigations.
Mooney, stop spreading lies about me.
Mooney's spreading lies about everyone.
Anyway, hurry up and find that murderer. This was the ladle the foreman fell into. Nope. Nope.
Since there's no body to examine, onto you or to your left.
You're telling lies.
You're telling lies.
You can't time me out. If you time me out, there will be no stream.
Yeah, and you want to stream. No, it says each other themes. So that means yours would be like, I don't know, star themed or something. I don't know. Shen, the factory floor's front door is just up ahead. Would you like to get some fresh air?
We are short on time, so let us focus on investigations first.
Oh man. What if I want fresh air?
Too bad.
Unfortunate.
Okay.
Okay.
Oddly, the factory floor is already quite arid. Why is there a tarpaulin covering the iron?
I believe this was you.
Ting instructed us to do so. He was afraid the bulk material in the iron would be mixed up.
Old Lee, there are still a few questions I would like to ask you about this morning's incident.
If there's anything else you need to ask, then just ask. Chen Shiping debriefed told Lee on his priest analysis. So you're saying Foreman Ting was murdered? It wasn't because he provoked that thing in the shrine? Of course, we went to the office and nothing happened.
Old Lee, between last night and this morning, have you noticed anything unusual? Or perhaps have you heard any strange noises?
Nothing unusual or strange noises.
Were you working at the second floor furnace area all night?
Yes. Sometimes I take a break, but I never left, not even for a second.
You spent the whole night on the second floor and found nothing unusual. That conflicts with... I think the hook?
Yeah, the hook.
The moments of the crane hook are exceedingly noisy. If you were really here all night, how could you have not known that someone used the crane hook last night?
That...
Unless you were the person who moved that crane hook.
It wasn't me. Last night, I did in fact leave the second floor furnace area.
Where did you go?
I stayed up past midnight. I was very hungry and I went to the dock to have a midnight snack. No way. If you left, he was looking after the furnace. The furnace could be unattended for an hour after materials are shoveled in. Coo! Patrolman Coo can prove it. Whenever I'm on duty, we go to the dock together around that time. I swear, I'm not lying. We'll trust your words for now. Is there anything else that you're hiding from us? No.
Sure. Old Lee, have you ever opened the conveyor door after the incident?
Ooh, that's... If you keep something, it'll just increase your suspicions. Well... Fine then. After the incident, I did open the conveyor door without permission. The fire was so intense, it's only natural that I fear death. Oldly, it's only human nature to flee for your life, but why did you keep this a secret earlier? The rules of operation require workers to put out the fire as a priority. I didn't have the guts to stay, but I was also afraid they would cut my pay. I have a family support. So many mouths to feed.
Be at ease, Old Lee. We just want to uncover the truth. We don't intend to cause you any trouble.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Old Lee, did you lock the conveyor door at a later time?
Yes, it's embarrassing to admit.
Are you the only person who holds the key to the conveyor door?
I'm the only person on the factory floor that has the keys.
We would like to try and take the elevator. Please open the doors for us.
Will do.
Hopefully open the conveyor door.
What are you doing? How'd you two come out?
How did you two come out from there?
We're investigating every nook and cranny that seems suspicious.
If there's anything you want to know, you could try asking me.
When the incident occurred, where were you were you in the warehouse? Did you see anyone get off the elevator?
I don't know. I was in front of the office doors at the time.
Wait, what? Why does that guy look like he's got one of those fancy smoking pipes in his pipes in his neck? What do you mean?
Oh, it's just because it's the way that the what's it called? The way the string is wrapped around his neck.
I don't think it
From
looks
his
like that
hat.
at all. It looks like he has a hat tied to his head.
Yeah. You're talking about patrolman Q, right? Yeah. It's just the hat tied to his head. That is correct. Hat. Is this warehouse usually locked? Does anyone stand guard?
A warehouse usually isn't locked or guarded, since there's nothing important tucked in there.
See, now it just sounds like you just want to keep saying that people are bullying people now.
Old Lee claims that whenever he is on duty, he goes to the dock with you to eat midnight snacks.
You know about that already?
Oh, the other guy we were with? Okay. I'm not bullying anyone! I will ban you. Was that the case last night?
We were just taking a little break.
Achievement unlocked. The elevator.
You can't put me. I'm the one streaming. If you put me in timeout, the stream ends immediately. Do you want to see the game or not?
Yeah, see? And we got so much to go through. We got like at least another hour. Ish. After the incident, Old Lee has opened the conveyor door, so the suspect probably left through it. Mooney, if Morgan's not streaming, you can't stream his stream if there's no stream to stream.
Exactly. The splashes of molten steel make it impossible to pass the stairs in front. For a long time after the incident, the conveyor door was the only way to leave the second floor.
Noon. Shen, I understand now. There are only 3 possibilities. The murder was Old Lee, someone Old Lee covered for, or someone left the scene after Old Lee. Shen, doesn't this mean that...
No, I can't stream in the corner, Toshi. I will be uncomfortable. That is not prime streaming conditions. If you put me in the
Yeah.
corner, the stream will end. That's the only reality that exists.
Yeah. So don't put Morgan in the corner or else.
I cannot stream if I am uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's true. The person who didn't arrive at the scene immediately after the incident is the most suspicious.
That is true. Even if that person is not Old Lee, they would be someone who is quite familiar with Old Lee. That is why he could predict Old Lee's behavior and use it to his advantage to carry out the plan.
Mooney says that Morgan is
I
throwing a
can
tantrum
read
about
it.
I was being helpful.
I can read it, and Mooney is wrong. And if Mooney wants me to continue to play the game, Mooney should stop being mean to me.
Yeah, Mooney.
Well, fine. I guess we're gonna just take a long break now. I guess I'm gonna go take a break and sit in the corner. So everyone's gonna get to sit here for an indeterminate amount of time while I go take a break and sit in the corner.
Yeah,
So
bye, Morgan.
I guess
See you
we're just
later.
gonna go and sit in the corner together for an indeterminate amount of time.
Look what you guys did.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, stream. Have a
For an
nice day. We'll see you
indeterminate
later.
amount of time.
For an indeterminate amount of time. Look what you did. Stream is cancelled, guys. This is what you wanted, Mooney? You wanted stream to be cancelled? Can't believe Mooney wanted stream to be cancelled. It's cancelled. This is what happens when you are mean. When you are mean, stream gets cancelled. With like 2 C's. Two C's, you know? It's a lot of C's. See what? What are we seeing? Or what are we not seeing? See that? I don't know what a see that is. I can only tell you what I know. And what I know is 2 things. Green and purple. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a nice Friday / Thursday / Wednesday / Saturday, wherever you are in the time zones. Currently, we are playing Murders on the Yangtze River, in which a guy got murdered. Also, the food of the week is Pringles and chicken sandwich. In case you were wondering, it's Pringles and chicken sandwich. Welcome back. Stream's still not back. Because you bullied him, so he left forever. For an indeterminate amount of time. This is what happens when you bully him. You
get hit with the indeterminate amount of time. I used to be really good about cleaning my brushes, but then the problem became that I kept on buying new brushes without cleaning them for makeup. And so now I'm looking at this brush and it has a lot of eyeshadow and I'm like, I don't need this. I need to clean this now. That's what I'm trying to do, but it's annoying. Like I know. Ow.
Oh. Well, well, well. I hope we all had enjoyed sitting in the corner. Oh. Do you have fun sitting in the corner, Cinnamon?
I started messing with my brushes. So, no. I'm messing with makeup brushes again.
Why?
Because I can.
I guess.
I don't know. Sometimes you do things, and you know this about yourself.
Uh-huh.
So you continue to do things. So that's just how you work. By doing things. I'll just use this now. I'm not in a corner. I didn't do anything wrong. Mooney did do something wrong. Me? I did nothing wrong.
Are we ready to continue?
Clear. Yeah.
Alright. I don't think there's anything else we can ask about. What do you mean betrayed? What'd you do now? Steel ingots cast from molten steel in ladle number 2 after the incident. According to Afu, the remains of the deceased will not be within them. One can only hope.
One can only hope.
Your Honor, there are a few questions about the shrine that I would like to ask you. There's no harm in asking.
I heard that Mr. Deputy Administrator was the one who arranged the statue.
Foreman Ting repeatedly asked me to invite the gods in, and I couldn't argue with him. He was quite concerned about this, and even built the shrine by himself. Who would know that after the gods were invited in, all these terrible things would happen? So Foreman Ting built the shrine and the altar by himself.
Shannon, we didn't check the altar beneath the shrine earlier.
No matter. Feel free to investigate it. As long as you can solve the case as soon as possible. Oh.
We love that secret compartment backing.
Secret compartment.
I am not a sock puppet / muppet. I am a little guy.
Toshi, do you know what a
There's
sock puppet
difference.
is? Muppet I could maybe understand. Sock puppet is certainly a choice.
Oh, little guy.
Read your line.
Ah, okay. Huh. Behind the altar is a secret compartment.
Hang on, sorry. Wait.
Gasp, I can't believe you got mad at me. It's opened.
Chemicals.
Chemicals. Look, Shen, there's a lot of containers and reagents in the secret compartment.
It appears that this is the true secret of the shrine.
A crucible, an iron frame, a funnel, a beaker, conical flask, a dropper.
Drugs!
Drugs. These are all common
common appliances used for chemical experiences that are placed on the shelf.
Ooh, something melted right there.
That's probably what caused the explosion.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 bottles placed on the shelf, one of which has been sealed at the mouth. I can't read the label on the bottle clearly, so I'll open it. I don't think that's a good
Don't.
idea. There's a gunpowder smell. I got it. Shen, this bottle contains concentrated nitric acid.
Oh, Phil, you're dumb. You're gonna die.
You're so dumb. You're going to die. Even I'm not that dumb. There's a black mark on this partition board that feels hollow to the touch. It's the result of corrosion. The 2 pieces of steel soaked in reagent seem to have been corroded. One of the labels says sample made by pig iron burnt with coal from Westphalia. No, I wouldn't. I would not sniff it. I wouldn't do that.
I think you would.
No, I wouldn't. I would not sniff it.
You touch things
That
you know
sounds
are
like
hot and
something-
burn yourself.
That sounds like something that a person that is not me would
See,
do.
Mooney and I had the same
am
brain.
me, so it was.
Now, Toshi, Jim decided the way to test if a hot plate was hot was to put her whole hand on it.
That's only happened more than 5 times, guys. Okay, leave me alone. Anyway,
How old are you?
I would not sniff it. That's a good question. What year is it?
It's 2024.
23.
Okay. So, let me do some math here for a second.
Okay.
So, let's say at minimum, you've done it 5 times.
Which we know
At a
is not
minimum.
true, but yeah.
At a minimum, you've done it 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
You are 23 years old. This means this means you've done it about 1/4 of your life. Over that, 1/4 of your life has been taken up by burning your hand on a hot plate. If even that, that's the minimum.
That's a year. I don't think your math is correct.
I think it is.
You just said 1/4 of my life has been burned by. No,
Yeah.
that's not how math works.
It does though.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It means what? It means literally 1 out of every 4 years of your life, you've burnt your hand on a hot plate.
Yeah, that's what you meant, not what you
Yes.
said beforehand. Okay, anyway. And as we know, it's been more than that. But we're pretending. Because the real answer is, like, I've been, like, chemistry classes for a couple of years, right? So if we count, like, let's say we do a lab every week. Let's say we did 6 weeks each time with that's 6. That's plus another 6. Because it's plus another 6. So that's, like, at least 18 times. At least. Anyway, the other label says sample made of a mixture of Chinese coke breeze and anthracite. Sometimes you have to check if something's hot, okay? And you can't tell if something's hot. It's not like you can see it's hot. So you know
the
what you do?
argument we're making is
Check
there
it.
are definitely circumstances where Chinema would sniff mysterious chemicals just because.
Sometimes you are required and they tell you, hey, sniff this chemical for
No,
class.
not if you're
You're like,
required,
"Okay,
you
I
would
will
just
sniff
do
for
it.
class."
Because you didn't think about it very hard. You'd think it was something else, then you'd sniff it without any caution.
No, I feel like I'm smarter than that.
I never said you weren't smart. I just said that you would do that.
Yeah, I said I think that I'm smarter than that. That's what I said.
I don't know about that.
No, because that will cause a fire. Toshi, we cannot start a fire in
Oh, you know what
class.
you could do? Put your hand over it without touching it.
I don't have enough taste buds for that.
I'm gonna throw you out a fucking window. I'm gonna throw you in the ocean as a sacrifice to just... I don't know what it would fix, but it would fix something.
I can't believe that I get permission to go to your dear sweet sister Mariana's trench.
No, you
before
won't. You'll be
meeting.
dead before you get there, just to be clear. Because it's a sacrifice. I'm gonna leave you on the quantum moon and fucking Outer Wilds is what I'm gonna do.
No, please don't leave me there. I will never find a way out, and I will die. I
Then
do not
stop
want to die on the
touching hot
quantum
plates
moon.
in general.
I guess I am going to die on the quantum moon. There's nothing I can do about
Swear to
it.
fucking God.
There's simply nothing.
You
I
are the
can do
only
about
person on this planet where the requirement would be don't die and you would fail immediately. Because you do something just to test it out.
It's called the science, okay? Sometimes
I don't think touching a hot plate is science.
it's science.
It was science a
Okay.
couple years ago, but now you've since learned you don't need to touch a hot plate with your hands, so no, it's not science.
Don't you know an important part of science is testing something? Is
Yeah,
testing
you've
a
already
hypothesis
if you did
until it
this
is
once,
proven
that
wrong.
would be a test.
until it is proven wrong.
No!
Test
That
the
is
hypothesis.
not how
That
that
is-
works.
It is. Trust me. on
No,
this. You
it
test
is
until it's
not.
proven wrong. It is.
You can't call yourself a scientist when you don't know how fucking experiments work. If
No,
people
that's
did
literally the point of the
experiments...
hypothesis.
No! No, it is not! If someone has a hypothesis and they test their hypothesis a certain amount of times and it's a 100% in line with their hypothesis, that doesn't mean they have to keep testing it.
I mean, yeah. But, like, there's always a chance of a, what's it
No,
called? A,
if you keep... You know what that is? That's
just
not the
like-
definition of science or a hypothesis, Chinema. That is literally the textbook definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, is the definition of insanity. That is the famous quote or whatever.
Yeah, but, like, it also implies science. Trust me, I'm a scientist. We've talked
No,
about this several times.
it doesn't. You're an insane scientist then.
Leave me alone.
You're an insane scientist who touches a hot plate that is already hot, that you know is hot, just to see if it's hot.
I don't know it's hot sometimes. I don't know if it's cooled down or not. I have to check.
Yeah, you know how you check? By hovering your hand over it, or touching it very quickly with one finger and not your entire hand!
I don't have enough taste buds for that.
You don't need taste. I'm literally going to throttle you out through this computer. You give me so much anxiety in my daily life.
Sometimes, you know, you've caused a lot of things and a lot of issues where your pain sensors are kind of broken, and
Yeah,
so
because you
have to
broke
check.
them by touching hot plates.
No, there's other reasons they broke. Okay.
Yeah,
it's
what are
just
they?
One of those things. Having constant headaches for several years to the point that you can't recognize whether or not you have headaches sometimes.
That has nothing to do with you touching a hot plate.
It has something to do with pain, and that's what you're talking
No,
about.
I also have a high pain tolerance, Trinima, and I do not touch hot plates with my hell hand just to see if it's hot.
It's called having high
Hot tolerance?
No, it's not. And again, that has nothing to do with your headache.
Did you know that
Actually, no,
cold
that's a
food
lie.
is
I do
good?
have a high hot tolerance. I actually run very cold. We've learned this.
Yeah, and I run very warm. This is very different.
Yes. So I have a high hot tolerance and you don't. That's what we're saying.
No, you have a low heat tolerance.
No. I have a high heat tolerance because you can make something really hot and I won't notice.
Same.
No. Because my point is, I'm fucking not sensitive. I am very sensitive to being cold, which is the opposite of heat. I have a high heat tolerance and I still don't touch hot plates with my bare hand just to see if it's hot. Are we gonna play the game or not?
Ammonius, no, you're my drug sign. We all get to read the voice of the show. I'm just saying.
They sure
okay?
are.
Leave me alone, movie. I'm doing my best.
I didn't expect there was a whole set of chemical appliances hidden within the shrine. So, he was actually secretly conducting experiments instead of worshipping gods. I never knew any of this. Mr. Deputy Administrator, would it be possible to ask you a few more questions? Go on, Mr. Shen. Has Mr. Deputy Administrator ever seen these chemical appliances in the shrine? I never knew he was secretly conducting experiments. However, these appliances do look like the ones used in the laboratory in the backyard.
Is it possible the foreman team borrowed these from the laboratory?
I am born and bred in Texas. I am naturally evolved to survive in 100-degree weather.
Me too.
I can't be sure, but Foreman Ting used to be the assistant to Mr. Robinson, the chemist here. The chemist there. Later on, when we needed a foreman on the factory floor, Mr. Robinson recommended him. Is it not true that he is overqualified for a job as a foreman? It is indeed more laborious and dangerous to work on the factory floor than a laboratory. However, he had great enthusiasm for steelmaking. No, I didn't mean to do that. I recall you once said that he had always been studying open hearth steelmaking technology. Yes, he wanted to improve the formulation of steel to reduce cost and efficiency and increase efficiency. The minerals obtained by our ironworkers are mostly phosphate rocks left over by the Japanese. To produce good steel, we had to buy pricey phosphorus-free coke from the foreigners. Not only are the production costs high, the quality has always been unstable. Oh, trust me, Toshi, you haven't even scratched the surface of Chi lore.
I've done, like, 0 wrong, guys.
After we used the open hearth process, the product quality has improved, but costs are still high. Ting suggested replacing foreign coke with a mixture of Pingxiang coke breeze and anthracite. The steel would then be refined in the open hearth furnace as phosphorus is removed.
The open heart process uses the alkaline furnace, which is good at removing phosphorus.
Nevertheless, this has nothing to do with the chemical appliances in the shrine. I heard from the workers that there was a problem with the batch of products. Ting's methods reduced costs by 1/3. We also did some tests on its mechanical properties. The results are good. Therefore, we trial-produced a batch of steel rails. Good quality and low priced helped us get orders from many railways.
But
Thank you,
that's
Lettuce,
one
for the
thing-
subscription. I cried.
Ah, thank you, Lettuce, for the subscription. We love you.
Thank you. Weeps.
Weeps. Kisses.
But that's when things went wrong?
Ugh, indeed. The test report from London came back, saying that there were quality problems with our products. The report says that the carbon content of the steel was too low to be durable. The phosphorus content was too high, and has prospects of fragmentation. As a result, the construction company for the railways refused to accept our steel rails. The public also accused us of cutting corners on such an important matter. I felt so ashamed.
I'm sure Foreman Ting was also under a lot of stress too.
After the incident, Foreman Ting's condition hadn't been so good. So, he was actually secretly conducting experiments instead of worshipping gods. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Administrator. Afu and I shall continue investigating following this clue.
We're not fighting about anything, Letters. Trust. And whatever people are saying we're
just
fighting about,
putting a
we're-
hand on hot plates. more than 5 times.
It's fine, trust. Okay, anyway, not 5, but 18, because I've never done 18 wrong, guys. Trust.
Mr. Deputy Administrator, we suspect that the office was the scene of the crime.
We need to detect blood. Shall we close the door and windows and turn off all the lights?
As long as it contributes to uncovering the truth. Do whatever is convenient for you two. Afu sprayed the blood detection reagent throughout the room. Aha! Da-da-da-da!
Ah. I did not burn my tongue on hot plates. I just burned my tongue on hot food. Okay?
Yeah. No, you have burnt. We literally just talked about you burning your hand on hot plates.
I didn't burn my hand. I just checked to see if it was hot, and it was hot.
You've just established that you don't know what pain means, so I think you burned yourself.
No, because if I burned myself, I would have a scar.
No, you wouldn't.
And I...
That's not... Depends what level of burn you get. Not all burns end up with, like, visible scars that you can see.
No.
Yes. Miss Scientist, you should know about these things.
I'm not a biologist, I'm a scientist.
No. Clearly not any kind of scientist who knows anything about anything.
I know lots of science about science stuff.
I burned
just
myself
not
on a
biology.
fucking off-roader when I was a kid. I've burned my fingers quite a few times, just, you know, while cooking in normal ways. You know, sometimes, usually the types of burns people get in everyday life are the kinds of burns where, like, just the skin feels weird for a little while and then eventually it goes away, but it doesn't leave any kind of actual scar. Because not all burns do that. It depends on the level of burn.
I've only gotten burns where I was scarred.
I'm going to throw you in the ocean.
Why?
I'm going to put you in a box and I'm going to ship you to the ocean.
Well, I mean, we can talk about how you spill glitter everywhere, if that helps.
Yeah, and I'm not ashamed of that. I don't lie about that.
I don't lie about anything either.
Yes, you do. You have been this entire time.
Nope.
I know. How do you think I feel, Letters? See, I will tell chat exactly what happened with the glitter because we were making cupcakes and I was trying to open a thing of like the edible glitter that you spray on, and while trying to open the cap, for some reason, the fucking thing just unscrewed and popped off and glitter exploded everywhere. Edible glitter everywhere. And it was quite funny, although very distressing because during that moment as well, my mother was very mad, not at us, but just in general because the pizza we were ordering was not going very well. So while they were like ranting and raving in the background, it was me frantically going, oh no, oh god, oh geez.
No.
But see, I wouldn't lie about that because I am honest about my mistakes and my fooleries.
And I'm honest about my mistakes too.
No, you aren't.
Yes, I am.
We literally just had an argument about you not being honest about it.
I am honest about them. I just never committed any, so therefore there's nothing.
Oh, see a lie. I hear a lie right now happening at this exact moment.
Never committed anything wrong. Never done anything wrong ever.
You definitely have.
Nope. Nope. Never. Okay, but the worst part too was that we tried to clean it up, Toshi, but because of the way that the glitter was, it kind of just started blending into the ground and making it shiny. It was so funny staring at the fact that we're like, okay, we're gonna wipe this up. Oh no, no.
Oh no, oh geez, oh no.
And then we're like, okay, we did it. Great, we cleaned it up. And we're like looking over and it's like, yes, it's fine. And then it's all over more again. Like, he's just shining. And then, now, okay, so my issue with my tickets letters is because it's during Thanksgiving weekend. So along with from where I'm flying from, it's just more expensive.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm planning on taking a trip during Thanksgiving weekend to do a Renaissance fair.
So I don't know if Jinima's gotten any commissions or not. No. Cause yeah, but the ticket I believe the one you found was. Have you bought it yet, or are you still waiting to buy it?
Not yet.
Yeah. You probably. I hate to say it, if you're going to get it, you're gonna need to get it, or it's going to get more expensive.
Yeah, I know, because I noticed.
But I will. But listen.
At least slightly down again.
I will give you money.
I know you will, which is why I'm planning on buying it as soon as the price goes back down again. Okay, I understand.
Do you know it's gonna go back down again?
It should go back down at least a little bit.
How do you know?
Because of the trends that I was looking at for how the prices went.
Okay.
I was looking at a price chart of like how the prices went. So
how much is it though? The one Chinema was looking at the time was $500.
Yeah.
Which I'm probably shaved that down to about $300 just because I have long story short, my dad gave me technically birthday money. He gave me like $500 unexpectedly because partly it was because he was helping me pay off a ticket, and when he did, he sent me an extra crazy amount of money and said part of this is for the ticket and part of this is for you to spend with your friends and go to dinner or something. And I was like, because I don't think he knew that my mom had already let me basically given me some money to take them out to Topgolf. So I've been debating a little bit on what I want to do with it, because the thing is, unless we go somewhere super crazy, I could take $100 and take my friends out somewhere. Like, that's really easy for me to do. So I'm like, I could $100, $200 for lunch, $100 or $200 for, depending on how much lunches can be considered for the ticket, because I don't mind paying partly for the ticket. It was my fault anyway. He was just being nice. But I'm thinking I'm going to give Chinema money because it's my birthday money, so I get to do whatever I want.
Your birthday money, you get to do whatever you want.
I just have to
stop you from this.
Yeah. How would you prefer I send it? Cough, cough.
Cough. Later.
Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, so if anyone wants to help give because I know we want to do adoptables and we will, here's my only thing. I cannot promise when I will have sketches for you, because I am unfortunately very busy, both with actual work and also just doing fun art for myself. Or just like, I hate to say roleplay, like cat things, but cat things.
Yeah, I understand completely.
Yeah, as well as just like commissions that I need to catch up on, and et cetera, et cetera. So I don't want you to wait for me to have those ready, because here's my thing. I can't promise how fast they will be done, and then I cannot promise they will sell. Because in my whole history of doing adoptables, they either sell like hotcakes or they sell like shit. So like, so I don't want you to be dependent on that, because we can still do them, and you could use that if you wanted to use that to help, or to pay yourself back, or even if for some reason you make a bunch of money to help pay me back a little bit, whatever you want to do, I don't care. But like, I want you to be able to get the ticket and not have to stress about it, because I love you, and I want to see you in November. Mwah, 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 mwah. Kiss eating your face.
Cannot eat my face. I need that.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, unrelated, you should go check out Chinema's VGen and go commission Chinema.
Yeah.
If you have the money to do so.
Yeah, the money to do so. That's very important, because, the money is important.
Mm-hmm.
Money is important. Alright, but yeah.
Look, Jen, it's blood. Blood on the walls and on the floor.
Is everything that is glowing a bloodstain? It appears that we need to reinvestigate this room.
I would say so. The bloodstain? Nope.
The bloodstains on the wall are mainly cast-off pattern bloodstains with a wide range.
Oh, Toshi, it's blue because of we currently sprayed something and some
Yeah, this
lights
isn't.
are
We're not seeing actual bloodstains. We did a chemical thingy.
luminol.
Luminol.
Well, kind of luminol. Mostly luminol.
It's basically like if you take a black light and you're shining it in a hotel room. You know, that kind of thing. Preliminary judgment of the murder weapon was not a knife, but a blunt object. I would hope so, with these sorts of blood patterns.
I mean, it could be a knife. Could the murder weapon be something inside this room? Problem with that is, if it was, it would be glowing as well.
Yeah. If it is an object in this room, the murderer probably committed a crime of passion.
There's a blurry bloodstain on the floor with uneven thickness. Something was smeared.
This is a swipe pattern bloodstain left by the murderer when they cleaned up the crime scene. You see, those parallel lines on the edges are swipe marks. Scattered spots surrounding the blurry bloodstain that seem to be projected bloodstains. This is the result of blood colliding and splattering all around. Such traces often appear at the scene where the victim is repeatedly hit by a blunt instrument. Interesting. Because there's nothing on those. Those imply those were gone at that time.
Yeah.
There were 2 long cast-off pattern bloodstains on the board of the name tags, of the name badges. The cast-off range is wider than any of the cases I have seen before.
Shen, the name badges are blocking the bloodstains. Shall I take them down and test them?
Sure, but keep a record of the hanging positions of each name badge.
Understood. The hanging positions could also be clues. I've already tested all the name badges, and there weren't any reactions to the blood.
The bloodstains on the copper board are continuous and unobscured.
Shen, does this mean that the crime took place before the workers started work?
You are correct.
The wall with blueprints has cast-off pattern bloodstains, as expected.
The cast-off range is quite wide, so the murder weapon seems to be something that is very long.
I'll take the map and paste it back on later. The bloodstains will stop when it reaches the map.
We knew this.
We knew this also. The murderer really switched up the blueprints to hide the bloodstains. I mean, yeah, it's good to have proof, but like, you know, Shen's deduction is incredible. Shen, these 2 bloodstains look really strange.
Agreed.
This one looks like a symbol drawn on the blood-stained floor. The other one looks like a stamp, and it feels somewhat familiar. Something that could leave such a large bloodstain should be the murder weapon, right?
That is highly possible. Okay, Interesting.
Interesting.
Afu, this trace is very important and needs to be specifically recorded.
No problem.
I'm just thinking of what it could, because it is very large. But it's like,
Yeah.
so very large object with some little circular marks. What object could it be?
No problem. I mean, we can always, once we get back out, check and look and see our court record.
Mm-hmm. A blurry bloodstain on the floor must have been left by the murderer while cleaning the scene. Scattered spots surrounding the blurry bloodstain that seem to be projected bloodstains. They often appear at the scene where the victim is repeatedly attacked by a blunt instrument.
There are no bloodstains on the wall near the code of practice. I already tested every object on the desk and there weren't any reactions to blood. Shen, do you think the steel rail sample on the display shelf could be the murder weapon?
You might as well try testing it.
I'm afraid I can't.
What is the matter?
If the reagent is applied to the steel rail, the result might be inaccurate. Shen, I have a bold hypothesis.
Go on.
My instinct tells me that the murder weapon was the statue of Ganjiang and Moyi.
That could be true, because that could be the base of the statue right there, and then the little spots maybe
Yeah.
other parts of it. The weight is appropriate, but the shape seems to be a bit short. You can try to test it. I'll have to examine the shrine and the statue closely.
There's no luminous reaction at all. I guess it wasn't the statue.
Unless that's not the statue, and there was actually a different one.
If only my instincts were as sharp as Shen's.
I do not rely on my instincts to solve cases, though.
Could it be a bag of money?
Maybe.
What does the money look like again? Is there like certain patterns on it?
I feel like it's too wide. Maybe, though, because it could be the coins fell out, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Could we take a look at what the coins look like? Is there anything on the coin specific? No, I don't think so. I don't know, maybe.
Because it could be. I feel like it could be. Those could have been fallen out coins, and then that could be either something on the bottom of the bag that would... I think you could be right. I think it could be the bag. Because nothing else we have, I think, really works.
Yeah.
Got a lot of knowledge. Swipe pattern bloodstains are bloodstains left upon the contact area from a moving source through the collision or friction, generally irregular in shape that can be identified through demarcation. Nah. Projected bloodsstains are bloodstain patterns that are created when some form of energy has been transferred to a blood source through impact or force, resulting in blood splatters that fall upon surrounding surfaces. Generally categorized as impact spatters, splash pattern bloodstains, back splatters, and expirated blood. Luminol is a chemical reagent that was first synthesized in 1853 and emits a blue light when oxidized. Due to the bivalent iron in blood acting as a catalyst for this reaction, forensic science began using it in the 1930s to detect blood traces at crime scenes. The luminol reaction is highly sensitive, capable of detecting bloodstains that have been wiped away or are very old. In the story, the use of luminol by Afu to detect blood is a fictional element. Interesting.
It doesn't say specifically that it's fictional.
I think because they don't want you to...
Think that's how you create luminol?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the story, the use of luminol by... I think it's because maybe this version is more exaggerated on how it works. Because it seems like it might just be that it's a very unrealistic way of using it, or a way to use it, or also just trying to make people be responsible about it, because like it just said, it's capable of detecting blood that's been wiped away or are very old. So you could use that irresponsibly, because if you're an untrained person who just starts using luminol everywhere and you start seeing things light up, you might start freaking out when it's, 80-year-old bloodstains. But I think it's one of those things that are like, disclaimer, not everything in here is fully scientifically accurate.
Yeah, okay.
The existing evidence is enough for me to sort out some doubts.
Shen, I know the principle behind the shrine unleashing its powers.
Is it related to the chemical reagents inside the cabinet?
Maybe. Exactly, the so-called powers of the shrines, actually. Aru probably nurtured for certain reagents, causing a reaction that produced smoke.
Can you think of the specific chemical reaction? What did the workers actually perceive? Smoke or fog?
Shen, you asked me too soon. Give me more time to rethink this. Okay, so, the options are the ammonium,
You're the scientist. What do you
the
think?
acid, and chloric and sulfuric acid. Do HNO3, ammonium nitric acid. Remember when we cooked the shrine? I bet he accidentally knocked over the concentrated nitric acid in the cabinet. I will shrimp check.
Sure,
Okay.
check.
And hydrate. I have been drinking, so I'm all good. I will not dehydrate. Anytime.
Mm-hmm.
In the
You
next
better not
5
be
seconds.
hydrating.
In the next 5 seconds. The acid has a gunpowder smell. When it evaporates, it produces a yellowish white smoke.
If that is the case, then Ah Wu fell ill because he inhaled acid?
Yes, nitric acid harms the respiratory tract. Awu was close by. He probably inhaled a lot. They are afraid of ghosts and don't know chemistry. It's easy for them to be superstitious.
Ah Fu, that was good deducing.
Classic me.
Apparently, worshipping the shrine behind closed doors was just a cover. Foreman Ting was actually conducting some kind of chemical experiment in secret.
But there's a laboratory in the factory. Why didn't he just go there to conduct experiments?
Obviously, he did not want anyone to know. He must have had a reason. He was doing illegal experiments.
He was doing drugs.
We've already examined all the places that could be investigated within the ironworks. It is time to ask Deputy Administrator Lee to gather everyone for a discussion.
Discussion.
By gathering us all here, I'm sure Mr. Shen has come to a conclusion. There's no time to waste. Please begin right away.
You want to call after this?
Sure, like right now or after, like...
After.
After. Cool. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Through investigations, we can confirm that the death of Foreman Ting was the result of a murder.
My murder.
The furnace area where Ting's falling incident occurred was actually the secondary crime scene. The murderer used a mechanism to make Ting jump into the ladle, staging a suicide.
Yes.
The presumed disappearing railing was actually a fake railing that was made from rubber.
Yep. We found a batch of hard rubber blocks in the warehouse, as well as traces from processing them. This kind of vulcanized rubber won't easily deform at room temperature. But when molten steel flows out, the rubber will gradually soften due to burning heat. The softened rubber railing wouldn't be able to sustain any weight at all.
Ting's falling caused an explosion, burning up the rubber railing, which disappeared completely. The grayish-white powder we found on the site was the residue from the burning rubber. Those rubber blocks belong to Hubei Arsenal and are stored here temporarily. Who knew that it would be used by someone with ulterior motives?
This proves that the murderer knows the warehouse inventory like the back.
Sorry, my door suddenly. I guess my door was not closed like I thought it was.
Yeah.
That scared me. Anyway.
This proves that the murderer knows that the warehouse inventory like the back of their hands.
After the incident, Old Lee could not withstand the heat and opened the conveyor door. Ooh. So all the murderer had to do was take the elevator after Old Lee left to make their getaway.
If the murderer was on the second floor the entire time, how come Old Lee never noticed them?
That is because they were able to find a perfect hiding spot. The murderer must have hid in this location. Metal heap, metal heap. Maybe the iron heap, like they hid under the tarp.
Yeah. You can try that. Because I know we talked about beforehand they were hiding to the right of note 2.
Yeah, but that was coming back around.
Yeah. Because again, the whole thing was that he left, so he went. We're pretty sure he left down the elevator
Yeah.
when the murderer left. So
Because basically the point of it would he came down this way, followed the trail of the ladle thing, and then like skipped over here, ran and hid behind here, came back this way and escaped. So I want to say either iron heap or furnace charging heap, but I can't
Let's do
visualize it right
iron
now.
heap.
Yay! Yes, because the tire. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm not silly. I'm on it again. I'm back. I got it. Okay.
This is a sheet of dust cover. At the time, the murderer hid underneath it along with the body.
The furnace charger would have found them once he went to shovel materials.
It takes 8 hours to purify steel in a furnace. Iron is required in the beginning. After that, only subsidiary materials are needed. Yes, that's right. There's no need for me to go back after I've shoveled the iron.
This murderer is quite familiar with the steelmaking process, huh?
Based on what Mr. Shen said, wouldn't it be easier to say that Old Lee was the murderer?
That's true. He's the only person on the second floor. It would be easy for him to hide the body.
It wasn't me. That's just like putting a kangu on an innocent man. I've been wronged. Mr. Shen, you know this more than anyone else. It really wasn't me.
Considering this piece of evidence, I believe that Old Lee was not the murderer.
Where's the... The crane, maybe? No.
Wu noticed the crane hook change position when they started working in the morning and suspected it was used last night. Okay,
Because the reason we don't believe it was Old Lee is because he went out to go eat with Patrolman.
Right. Which this would be proof of it because he wouldn't have... Maybe this would be it because this proves that he didn't know the crane moved.
Yeah. I mean, there's only so many other pieces of evidence we have, because we know it's not the first 4, right? We know it's not like yeah, it's not the suicide note, because that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. Not the blueprints, because again, the blueprints are covering up the what's it called, the thing. Headcloth is covering up the thing. It's not dirt. So yeah, I would say crane probably.
Sorry, I'm thinking about something unrelated. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I might have a suspicion on who did it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably Supervisor Ho.
Yeah, cause
He's the one who tried to get out the money early as well. So that way there's evidence of that being
Because
the
you
issue.
pointed out how the bag being used to carry coins was a headcloth, which, while I don't think that was the headcloth he wore, that necessarily was related. It does relate to the fact that there is a bag of money right here, but for some reason he's not using that bag. Probably because he can't, because it was a murder weapon.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing, because obviously the point is that if he died, presumably before everyone even came to work, he saw him yesterday evening near the steam turbines. Mormon Ting was wearing a headcloth. He might be saying that to convince people that he was alive while wearing the headcloth when he wasn't, and he was just trying to make up a reason why he would be wearing the headcloth later that night. Or later that day, when he killed himself.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Supposedly.
Should probably be baby.
But then again, there's also the discarded uniform. So that still could...
But again, the discarded uniform is part of like the reason why, because he wasn't supposed to be there. Remember, he dressed up as because other people saw him too as well wearing the headcloth, and so it was the thing of he
Yeah,
pretended
that's
to be
true.
the guy beforehand.
Yeah.
And then this happened, which is what that discarded uniform is from, because it was like, okay, we're leaving out this way. To leave out this way, they had to drop off the cloth and then go.
Mm-hmm. But then that would discard my point of this needing to be a thing.
No, because it's saying that it's still there because while people saw him wearing the headcloth that morning, he's saying that it also happened last night. So that means
Oh,
he was
no,
still
okay, so
alive.
then you're saying exactly what I was saying. Because,
yeah, that's what
yeah,
I'm saying.
because what you're talking about when people saw him with the headcloth was when he was diving into the fucking ladle.
There was a point earlier that day as well. Someone else says they saw him with the headcloth looking panicked.
Sure.
And I'm pretty sure it was
We don't have any testimony of that anywhere.
Sorry. Okay, I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was someone other than Supervisor Ho who said that though. Thought it was Oldby and
I know people
Old,
mentioned it about when he...
Chow.
No, this is wrong. Anyone see the connection?
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, what did you present?
The crane.
Oh, you presented the crane?
Yeah, because that's what we both agreed to
Okay, yeah,
present.
that's what you're doing. Yes, you're correct. Maybe...
I don't know. I'm still not totally convinced though, because Ho is also... The way he's acted hasn't seemed... Like, it seems like he
Yeah.
wants to figure it out just as much? I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
fucking know. Anyway. Kind of symbol. Maybe a discarded uniform?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Do you want to look for a hint first?
I guess. If only with a murderer, there would be no... Yeah! Okay, so it is!
Okay, so it's just the uniform. Okay.
Anyway. This new uniform, stained with rust, was discarded by someone and left in the warehouse. Only the chest and knee areas of the uniform were stained extensively with rust. And the rust only appears on the heap of the iron scrap. It suggests the wearer lying on his front of the iron heap. If Old Lee were the murderer, there would be no need for him to hide in the iron heap. Indeed, his job is there anyway. It's not unusual for Old Lee to be stained with rust. Instead, a person who doesn't usually wear a uniform is more likely to do so. Which means the murderer is most likely isn't a worker. Yet they are familiar with the inventory in the warehouse and the steel-making process. Miss Wen, being able to forge a suicide note should also be taken into consideration. Oh, of course. The murderer not only can write, but is also capable of imitating others' handwriting. It appears that Shen has come to a conclusion. Please identify the murderer as soon as possible.
Identify.
Oh, well.
It's Ohu Shen.
Let's see if we were right.
Why is that picture so big?
Hey!
Ta-da.
Why are my... Okay. The prime suspect of this case is you, Mr. Ho. He put on a good act, though. I was very convinced.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? What are you guys talking about?
Toshi's talking about the Mooney drew a photo. You can check it out in finished artworks. It's in Chaos Calvary.
It's in
But Now you
It's
see. Now you
beautiful.
understand.
It's magnificent. It's glorious.
I'm struggling. I did nothing wrong. Okay. I was saying.
That is exactly, you've perfectly encapsulated how I felt.
But I'm being a good person.
Supervisor Ho does meet all of the conditions, especially the one about imitating handwriting.
Hosang, what is the meaning of this?
Your Honor, I believe that Mr. Shen is probably mistaken. If Foreman Ting was murdered, the murderer had to drag his body to the second floor. I'm just a feeble scholar, so it would have been impossible for me to do so. I'm just a little guy.
I am just a little guy,
I'm
okay?
just a
And
little
anyway,
guy.
Letter says every time I say I did nothing wrong, you're the most guilty party, and I'm not.
Agreed.
I am usually not. No, I'm not. I'm the least guilty party because I did nothing wrong. This is important information. I didn't
That
do
would
anything
be
wrong.
that would not be so difficult as long as you used this for support. Is this where the fucking crane comes in? Because it was moved.
Yeah,
I bet.
it seems to, because that's the only thing that can move.
Yeah. Now it's all coming together. After charging materials into the furnace, Old Lee usually takes a break from work for 1 hour. You knew about Old Lee's habit, so you took advantage of Old Lee's absence. Started the crane hook and transported the corpse to the second floor furnace area. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
If Mr. Shen thinks I'm the murderer, then fine. Go on and regard me as the murderer.
You just said you did it, my dude.
Hoseng, I entrusted him to investigate this case. It's his duty to report suspicious people. If you have any objections, it would be best that you prove your innocence. You do not need to force Supervisor Ho to prove his innocence, Mr. Deputy Administrator. Since I suspect Supervisor Ho, naturally I will provide evidence to prove it. A gentleman should not be humiliated. There's no need for hypocrisy, Mr. Shen. In that case, would Mr. Ho be willing to have a debate with me? True gold does not fear fire. I shall not succumb to your injustice. Oh. May I ask the reason why Mr. Shen suspects me? I regard you as the prime suspect is because you're the most consistent with the features of the murderer. I read the book The System of Logic. Deductions need to be logical. All features of the murderer summarized before. If you insist that these are the characteristics of the murderer, I do indeed fit the requirements. However, that doesn't mean that I must be the murderer, does it? For example, steel rail is very sturdy and made by iron. That is the characteristic, oh god. Mr. Ho, you are refuting a covert replacement of my proposition. This is not possible. What I said about the prime suspect is not the murderer. The man with the features of the murderer is not necessarily a murderer. But the murderer must be among those who meet such features. All people who meet these characteristics are all suspected of being the murderer. Mr. Shen, you keep blurting words suspect and murderer. You're the one who is misleading. Your so-called deduction is all speculation based on testimony. There is no evidence to prove that a murder actually occurred. Let's see.
Bloodstain in the office.
I am able to confirm because we found bloodstains in this office. This is the actual primary scene of the crime. How could this be? Afu made a reagent that glows when it interacts with blood.
Does such a reagent really exist? How come I've never heard of it? You're just bluffing.
Mr. Lee saw our investigation process with his own eyes. I can test it again right in front of you. Even bloodstains from a long time ago can be detected.
A long time ago?
Erp.
You're absolutely right, little Afu. Those could be traces from a long time ago. Considering that, how can you be sure that a murder happened last night? Symbol of the force, which is blueprints. Switch up blueprints. I'm able to prove the time of the blood spill. The blood stain breaks in continuity when it reaches the blueprints. No blood stains were seen on the wall behind the blueprints either. This proves the blueprints on the wall were switched out by someone. The missing section exists on the switched out blueprints, and the blueprints were switched out last night. So, that doesn't prove anything. Who knows if the blueprints had bloodstains from a long time ago? In my memory, those two blueprints were smudged and dirty anyway. Mr. Ho, you still have yet to realize the crux of the matter. I can determine when the blueprints were switched out is because yesterday evening, Miss Wen took a photo of the office. The photo you were in. In the photo, what was on the wall were old blueprints. There were no bloodstains on them at all. This means blood was spilled last night.
Yes, refute.
Oh, that was timed and I did not.
I think the reason the luminol thing was wrong is that you couldn't just mix luminol like that. You need a special light to try to see it. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, if anyone didn't understand what was happening, we couldn't pause. The text was just going. So, yeah, whoops.
We were in a time situation, and so part of it was the fact that not only was
Forcing
it going
me to
really
think
fast,
fast.
it was like
Upsetting.
we had to go faster or else we would lose, because the progress bar was how much someone was taking over the screen. But basically what happened, I couldn't really understand the first argument, but basically it was us saying like, hey, no,
I think he was arguing that like, oh, just because I fit the description of the murderer doesn't mean I'm the murderer. That's ridiculous. Like that's that's silly logic or whatever. So it was us being like, excuse me, it's not that we're looking at you. We're looking at anyone who fits any of the description of the murderer. Thank you. Yeah. It's mostly him just trying to talk his way out of it by being like, by what evidence? You know, that kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah. Doesn't matter. We're through it. We did it. We survived. We're winning. That's what matters. You have a silver tongue, Mr. Shen. I admit defeat.
So you're pleading guilty?
That's not the case. All I did was lose the debate. Where's the crime in that? Moreover, the debate we had just now is entirely based on assumption.
What assumption?
That little Afu's reagent is actually able to detect bloodstains. I studied chemistry at the Ironworks School, and I have also read countless foreign books. I have seen a number of fluorescent dyes, but I've never heard of a blood detection reagent. It's possible that it's just a street trick, like changing the color of water or something.
Call Mr. Robertson in. How's my reagent just a street trick now? It's mainly composed of aluminol and hydrogen peroxide, both things that react with blood. The iron in blood can catalyze the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide to generate monooxygen. Monooxygen can oxidize luminol, and that's what makes it glow. You should understand the principles behind it since you've read books.
So that means the detection of blood is actually the detection of iron?
That's right, even the tiniest amount of iron can be detected.
Little Afu, this is an ironworks. Iron is everywhere.
Generally, steel ingots and ironware won't give false positives, but rust or iron reagents will.
Foreman Ting used to conduct experiments in the office that even resulted in explosions. It's also possible that some reagents containing iron was splashed at the time.
Well, that could
be possible. But the pattern of the bloodstain.
You can't even be sure that they're bloodstains. What's there to say about the pattern? It's hard for Mr. Shen's deduction to convince me. Bo Xiang also has a certain truth to his words. Your Honor, in my humble opinion, all of Mr. Shen's deductions are just his mere assumptions. Your Honor, murder is a serious crime. This matter shall never be handled carelessly. It would be inappropriate to act with undue haste.
Shen, it's my fault for being thoughtless. A raging containing iron will indeed cause the mineral to glow. I would insist that a murder didn't take place, and Mr. Lee seems like he's almost convinced now. What should we do?
We need to think of another way to prove it.
No corpse and bloodstains aren't being taken into consideration. What else is there to prove?
A murder weapon. Once a murder weapon is identified, we can prove that this was a homicide.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bada boom.
You're the best, Shen. You've got an idea right away. But how can we find the murder weapon in such a short amount of time? The suspect is so cunning that they must have already destroyed the murder weapon.
All contact leaves traces. The evidence is not non-existent, but instead undiscovered. All objects and all images settled in different locations. We know what it is. All different locations sequentially. This figure actually looks quite familiar.
Something that could leave such a large bloodstain should be the murder weapon, right?
It's just clear to me now. The murder weapon was...
The coins.
Are you sure? Because it would technically be the coin bag?
I mean, I guess. Maybe the coin bag? I don't
We
know.
can try the coins. Yeah, there we go. You were right. The murder weapon was the silver coins. Silver coins? Do you literally believe that money makes the mare go? Mr. Ho, these are not just ordinary silver coins, but the wages received from you. There were 2 blood-stained symbols on the floor, one of which appears on the silver coin. How could a few silver coins be able to kill anyone, Mr. Shen? This piece of evidence will explain how silver coins were used as a murder weapon. The bag?
Yeah, the bag.
Yeah. The key to making silver coins the murder weapon lies within this. Mr. Shen, is there any mystery within this photo? Please point it out directly. Because, yeah, I think the ironwork symbol is the symbol on the floor. It may be impossible to kill with 1 coin, but a bag of coins is enough to be a murder weapon. Please see here. This is the emblem of the Hanyang Ironworks on the money bag. This is another bloodstain found at the crime scene. This pattern is perfectly consistent with the lower half of the ironworks emblem on the bag. After the killing, the murderer put the bloodied bag onto the floor, leaving behind a trace. What money bag? What silver coins?
Mr. Ho, if the money bag wasn't the murder weapon, why did you wrap the wages in a headcloth?
Ho Xiang, I recognize the money bag in the photo. It is indeed something you often use. What's going on? Where is your money bag? Mr. Lee, Supervisor Ho suggested that you pay the wages in advance to reassure the people, when in reality, it was to dispose of the murder weapon. This behavior alone is enough to show that Ho Xiang, you are the murderer.
Just
Looks
the
so
way you
fucking
said
sad
that.
and pathetic over here.
Yeah.
Just sitting in silence. You are the father.
Ding. He's got an
Your
idea.
Honor, I accidentally ripped the corner of the money bag this morning due to my negligence. To prevent the loss of silver coins, I used a headcloth to wrap around the money instead. I got rid of the damaged money bag without a second thought.
You destroyed it, didn't you? The blood on the silver coins can be washed away, but the blood on the money bag can't.
Blood? What blood is there? Don't forget, young boy, your reagent can't determine whether the traces on the floor are bloodstains or a reagent containing iron. Oh, okay. New pose, I guess. I seriously have no idea how you came to the conclusion that I'm the murderer. In the end, you have no conclusive evidence to connect the matter to me.
You...
The only way to nail him down is to find direct evidence that proves Supervisor Ho was involved. What kind of evidence could it be?
How about I help you sort the events of this case?
There is no need. I can do this myself. Review the whole case and figure out which part of the murderer's plan would leave traces. Then I need to present the evidence that proves the Supervisor Ho was involved. In the office, he murdered Ting with a bag of coins, then carefully cleaned up the crime scene. When Old Lee was away, he used the crane to hook and move the body onto the second floor. He shaved rubber off the warehouse and set up the rubber railing before working hours. Once finished, he hid in the iron cover with the tarpaulin, waiting for the right moment to appear. When the casting began, he used the ladle to create the incident and then hid in the corridor. When Old Lee went to check out the explosion, he hid back in the iron heap. Finally, after Old Lee left, he used the elevator to flee the scene. These are the 7 main steps in the murderer's plan. Which part of his plan could leave traces? I need to present the evidence that proves he was involved in that part of the plan. Okay, let me look at what we have. Because we have the ladle. We have the outlet shutter lever. Grayish white powder. Silver coins. Testimony. On the desk, a desk lamp, paperweight. I think I'm of 2 minds. I think. Either it's this one, because he could have potentially had fingerprints on there that he didn't wipe off. But I guess he could also have just been wearing gloves, so that one's a bit dubious. Same thing with the suicide note, I guess. I'm gonna try this, I think.
Okay, we get it.
You wanted to plead guilty with this evidence alone. You're a man with imagination.
Okay, wait.
Keep in mind what you need to prove is that Supervisor Ho actually committed the crime.
Okay, technically, which part is traces? What kind of evidence should I use to prove it? Ooh. This one can't, arguably, because he cleaned it up.
Yeah.
So,
He
presumably
cleaned it up,
can't.
and we can't prove that the bloodstain was him, so we can't say it's that.
We use the crane hook to move the body onto the second floor. So...
We know that the crane hook was moved, or we
Yeah.
can't prove that it was him that did it.
We
What's
can't
that?
prove it was him that did it. So... Shaved rubber in the warehouse and set up the rubber railing before working hours. Because this would be the most, like, suspicious maybe, but I don't think we have anything that proves it was him.
Yeah, we just know that the rubber was done. I mean, if you want to look at the clues again, I mean, all we know is that the only thing we know that he did was the, what's it called? The walking away thing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, is that a picture of him in the photo? Can we take
Yeah.
a closer look at this photo?
Nope. There's no details. We can't do
No,
anything
no.
with this. Oh, this?
No, the other photo. Yeah. Is there anything on him? What's he holding?
Pen. Book.
Okay.
Same thing he's holding currently.
Okay, then never mind. Okay. Let's keep moving then.
Hang on. Because that is like the one thing, right? Like the one thing that shows him there. The iron with the tarpaulin waiting for the right moment to appear. When the casting began, he used the ladle to create the incident. Then hid in the corridor. When Oldie went to check the explosion, he hid back in the iron heap. I'm wondering... Because I think what sucks right now is that this would prove that he wasn't wearing a headcloth. Right? Supposedly?
Yeah. We know that that's staying with the rest in the specific places.
Do we want a hint?
Yeah.
You can do a hint.
Okay.
Hiding in the iron heap would leave marks on the body, which might be detectable using a certain item.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it's saying that because we hid the body in this, we know that his outfit should also have the luminol on it. It should be rusty. So it'd be the luminol.
But like, which one do we even do that on?
Oh, I guess that's true. I mean, I think it's...
Rusty iron. I mean, yeah, but... Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. It works. The conclusive evidence lies right upon Supervisor okay, never mind. Didn't get to read that. If there's nothing else, I'll be taking my leave. Hold on. What else can I do for you, Mr. Shen? Since you insist that you did not murder anyone. To prove your innocence, could you allow Afu to test your hair and clothes? Shen Chongping, you're going too far. Hu Xiang, since you're innocent, why would you be afraid of the test? Your Honor, I didn't murder anyone. It's only natural that bloodstains won't be detected on me. But I'd rather die than be humiliated. That's strange. Seems that by doing so, your innocence will be restored. The ancients were willing to break all their bones in their body to prove their innocence. You're telling me that you're afraid of a few drops of reagent, Mr. Ho? I'm completely innocent. Of course I'm not afraid. I also need a staff member in the ironworks to take this test. Best someone who isn't a worker. Patrolman Ku. Cooperate with them.
Sure thing.
Alpha used the reagent to test Supervisor Ho and Patrolman Ku respectively. Gasps! Oh, look! Supervisor Ho is glowing! Could it be that the blood is detected from his clothes? That's impossible! I've never been stained with blood. What made the luminol glow was not blood, but in fact rust that was left on Supervisor Ho. This is the conclusive evidence. What? What are you talking about? Mr. Ho, the iron and rust will also cause luminol to glow. This is something that you yourself have been repeatedly emphasizing moments ago.
You did say this all the time, my dude.
There is a very crucial part of your plans. To avoid running into Old Lee, you had to hide underneath the tarpaulin multiple times. All contact leaves traces. There is rusty steel scrap underneath the tarpaulin, even if you wore a uniform on the outside. The cuffs of your sleeves, the hems of your clothes, and your hair are bound to be stained. I'm working in the ironworks all year round. It's only normal for me to be stained with iron. I knew you would say so, which is why I asked for the patrolman to act as a control in an experiment. He also works in the ironworks, and yet there is little to no luminol reaction on him. How would you explain this, then? Well, when I was making an inventory of iron ore this morning, I accidentally tripped and fell. I guess the cuffs and hems of my shirt were dirtied then.
How could there have been such a coincidence?
Sometimes that's just the luck of the draw. Mr. Ho, how did you fall so the rust got all over your brain? I slipped and fell on my back.
Then how is it not everywhere on your
You
back?
just lied and gave yourself away, Mr. Ho. There's not much of a blue glow on your braid as there is on the top of your head. You tricked me! This is outrageous. Mr. Ho, we can also make a comparison with the traces on that uniform. We will see if the traces on the uniform can match the traces on you. After leaving the furnace area, you had to show up as soon as possible to avoid suspicion. Then you discussed with Mr. Deputy Administrator about paying wages early to destroy the weapon. Right after, Afu and I arrived at the ironworks and began our investigations. Therefore, you did not have much time to deal with the traces on your person. That was the reason why we were so flustered earlier. Confess! You have no more excuses!
Confess. Confess.
That's right. I did it.
As I said.
Hussein, why in the world would you do this?
Yeah, why would you?
You're saying I found a method that can improve the steel-making process. From this day on, we won't have to buy expensive coke from overseas anymore. Our cost is 1/3 lower than that of Germany and Japan, yet the quality is almost the same.
Foreman Ting, you've finally done it!
I've been waiting my whole life for this day, and now our railways can finally use steel rails made by ourselves.
Foreman Ting, the test report from London is here. It says that the steel rails made by your new method have a risk of fragmentation.
Fragmentation? That's impossible. We've just completed tests on its mechanical properties, and there were no problems at all.
I'll leave the report in the office. You can take a look for yourself.
This doesn't make sense. Every segment was undoubtedly...
Foreman Ting, you should take a break. You haven't slept in 3 days.
This test... There must be something wrong with this test report.
You could ask Mr. Robinson to test it again. However, Foreman Ting, it's still because of the coke. It's time to accept reality. Mr. Lee has already decided to continue purchasing Westphalia coke. Foreman Ting, please understand that this is mainly due to consideration for the production time.
Well, I should congratulate you then, Supervisor Ho.
Foreman Ting, what do you mean?
You've been fooling the entire factory for months. Tell me, how many benefits have you and Robinson received from them?
Foreman Ting, what are you doing? Don't come near me! Foreman Ting! Foreman Ting! You mean, in a moment of desperation, you accidentally killed Foreman Ting in self-defense? Yes. Mr. Shen, what do you reckon?
It wasn't self-defense.
It was or it wasn't?
I would say not because of how the blood splatters happened. The cast-off pattern.
But what would the other motivation be?
I don't know.
I think it was, because here's the
I
thing,
mean-
just because... I mean, this is speaking... Someone who's really afraid might not just stop after one hit. Like, if you're
That
really
is true,
afraid.
Yeah.
But although he was cornered, though, which is a bit interesting.
Yeah. He was in a corner, which is my whole thing, too. It's like a
But
corner.
I also... Here's my reason for
blood
thinking it
stain
could
kind of
possibly
thing.
be self-defense, is there's a bunch of chemicals behind that cabinet.
Yeah.
We don't know if he was maybe threatening him with, like, about to throw something on him or do something crazy.
Yeah, it's a thing of feeling like, hey, if it was, you'd be able to find some other weapon first, kind of thing.
Well, not
But
if
we
he
didn't
cleaned
find
it up.
another weapon. Yeah.
Again, he very meticulously cleaned everything up.
Yeah. But if it was self-defense, why would he clean everything up? Other than the fact that you just murdered a person.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a pretty big reason.
I said other than that, Morgan. Oh my gosh, did you not hear me say that?
Sure.
Okay, we want to go with self-defense then?
I mean, we can try. If you're really confident it's not self-defense,
Oh, we can save
try
before
it.
answering. When he says we can save before answering.
Okay.
I
Why
think
would
it's
we need
not
to save before
self-defense.
answering?
Because one of us is wrong.
I'm gonna say it's self-defense. By using coins as a weapon, it is possible that Supervisor Ho killed Ting out of passion. Because that would be the thing that makes it... Why would you use that as your murder weapon if it wasn't heat of the moment?
Because it's something you can easily discard.
No. There's so many things easier to discard than that. Because remember... Because
Okay.
why would he do that and then hastily... Oh, I gotta go give out the reports. Like, this... If this was premeditated, I don't see any reason why he wouldn't have used a better weapon.
Yeah, that's fair.
By using coins as the weapon, it is possible that Supervisor Ho killed Ting out of passion. However, I do not think he acted purely out of self-defense. Okay, is this going to be one of those things where it's both the exact same answer no matter what we picked, because that's how that was written?
That was how that was written. When you lied to us.
There are projected
Yeah,
blood
I didn't
stains
think
on
it was
the floor and
premeditated
cast-off
either.
burns on the wall. This shows that the murderer continued to hit Ting on the head even after he fell to the ground. Doing so was just to ensure the foreman Ting's death was certain. I'm just gonna... I have to reload because I bet your ass it's gonna be the exact same dialogue other than, like, one line. I bet your ass. I'm gonna be in, like, you can save beforehand, and it's just the same fucking answer. I do not think he acted purely... Well, what do you think? What do you know? Not even a different line of dialogue. It's the exact same thing.
No, because it started off with something else first.
No, it started off with the other one. This one doesn't. It just starts straight into the same dialogue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it starts off with more dialogue.
No, that means it's basically the same thing, Shinaba.
Yeah, I'm saying it is the same thing. I'm just saying, like, never mind. We are talking about the same thing. We are on the same page here.
Sure. Except you opened it with "but" as if you were arguing with me.
Yeah, well, I do that a lot.
I'm gonna punch you. I do not think he acted purely out of self-defense. There are projected bloodstains on the floor and cast-off pattern bloodstains on the wall. This shows that the murderer continued to hit Ting on the head even after he fell to the ground. Doing so was just to ensure that Foreman Ting's death was certain. Your way of disposing the body was impossible to carry out without planning in advance. Therefore, even if you murdered Foreman Ting impromptu last night, your murder scheme was deliberately planned. Wait. So what exactly is the truth? Foreman Ting suggested a method of steelmaking that uses cheaper materials. This method reduced costs, but cut off the purchaser's source of wealth. This is the reason why Supervisor Ho and Robinson colluded to falsify the test report. To persuade Mr. Lee to continue purchasing pricey coke so that they could make money from it. Ting suspected the report was false, but he failed to challenge the authority of Mr. Robinson. So he conducted experiments in the name of worshipping gods to prove the report was wrong. Yet Supervisor Ho took advantage of this all as well to create the illusion of Ting's suicide. Ho Husiang, you treacherous leech. Leech. Your Honor, I did all of this for the ironworks. So what if I cooperated with Mr. Robinson and interfered with our self-inspection report? You think I'd be able to tamper with the report in London? Chemical testing, phosphorus content, standards of the process. Those are all shackles that they're forcing us to wear. Even the newspapers besmirching us are owned by them. They're holding our lives by the neck. What do we have that could ever counter that? Ho Husyung, you have no shame. Rights to build railways in China have already been divvied up among foreign lords. There's a tremendous profit in every single segment. We were under the spotlight after we successfully sealed several steel rail deals a while ago. We used to be the runts who followed behind them, and now you're trying to flip the table over. Do you think the foreign lords will allow the ironworks to continue standing in the spotlight? You. By purchasing expensive coal, you're just returning a portion of the benefits back to them. Is this how you justify filling your own pocket? This way the ironworks will survive while I can earn a little money. A way of living. You have brought me such disappointment. Have you lost your ambition to build industry in China? Ambition? Can you eat ambition to sustain yourself?
He has a point there.
With shackles everywhere, how will we ever be able to improve the prosperity of the country?
However, since the test report, I do not like to argue.
You do like to argue.
That is a lie. No.
You love to argue.
No, I don't.
You're doing it right now.
I am not.
Yes, you are.
No.
Yes, you are.
No.
Yes.
I'm just being bullied, and then everyone always bullies me, and then I didn't do anything wrong, and you guys are like, no, you did something wrong. I'm like, no, I didn't, and then you guys are like, nope, now you're lying. And I'm like,
see, Toshi's
I didn't read the line.
Yes, you did. You read enough of it.
No, I didn't.
Well, then you should have read it faster.
Then
maybe if you read it instead of arguing with me, maybe you would have read it.
Even though he could have only used the quality materials and cheap gold, Ting did make good steel.
So what?
It means the foreigners aren't the only ones who can make innovations in seal-making technology.
You can't be so naive just to think that a little innovation can change the situation, can you? It's just the wishful thinking of an ant that wants to move trees. If Foreman Ting's technical innovations are really as insignificant as an ant, why would the foreign lords you speak of sabotage and falsify the test reports?
That's...
Without the accumulation of each speck of innovation, how can we compete with foreign companies?
I did not ambush.
With determination, even mountains can be moved. With unity, our nation is bound to thrive. I will write about Foreman Ting's story in my news report so that I can inspire more people. So many hardships in running an ironworks. We won't succeed if we choose to muddle along. Ho Husyang, a man as short-sighted as you would never understand the weight of such responsibility. Someone take Ho Husyang away and get Robinson in the office immediately.
Wow!
I did it.
Solved!
Sure.
Okay, solved.
We did it.
And then shall we
guys.
just save and end there? Or do you want to close this out?
Let's read a little bit more first.
Okay. So I'll thank to you, Mr. Shen, that the matter of the Foreman Ting is settled. I was just performing my duties. It's not worth mentioning. Of course he did.
Get away. Don't want to get away with this.
Of
Billy.
course he did. He's gonna come back in the third act. I know he is. I know it. I've seen this. I literally seen this happen before. He's gonna come back in the third act. I promise I will do my best to deal with Robinson. Mr. Shen, I would like to have a few words with Afu in private. Would that be... Afu, I will wait for you outside. Afu, I thought you looked familiar ever since I saw you. Could you be the son of Mr. Hugh?
Do I look that much like him?
Of course. Being so knowledgeable in such a young age, it's quite a spitting image of him. Back when your father was the deputy administrator of the ironworks, I was just a greenhorn.
It's hard to imagine what Mr. Deputy Administrator used to be like.
Afu, have you seen the books in the laboratory? Laboratory.
Boy, toy. Yep, I read them all super tentatively a long time ago.
Those books were all written and translated by your father. Alas, it's a shame God is jealous of talents. That explosion.
Your Honor, that's all in the past.
Yes, people need to look forward.
Don't worry, Your Honor. I'll keep passing on the knowledge of things.
Excellent. Like father, like son. Come back and visit Hanyang often, all right? This is your home.
I will. Sorry to keep you waiting. Huh? There's a good smell coming off of you, Jen. Sniff, 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 sniff.
Here you go.
Sesame cake.
You might as well help me check to see if it's laced with any knockout drugs.
All done. Sweet and crispy.
Are you gonna read the rest of that?
No poison whatsoever. I didn't see that there was another point to it, and then I should like. Huh? Aren't you gonna eat anything, Shen?
I am not a fan of sweets. Moreover, Afu. Alright, now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, there we go. We've solved another case.
Yeah. We did it.
Well, I know it's
Great
2
job.
a.m. for Trinema over in New York. So
Yeah.
I suppose we will all go lay down tonight and go rest our weary eyes. And we will see you all again sometime soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I hope everyone had fun and had a good time.
Mhm.
And I hope I will see you all very, very soon. Tonight will be the night. Sure. But yeah, hope everyone has a good night or day or evening or whatever time it is for you. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.